Israel claims control over 40% of Gaza City. Its forces push deeper, warn of a military administration if Hamas falls. Yet as the war drags on, Europe threatens a ceasefire by moving to recognize Palestine, provoking Israeli ultimatums and US rebukes. Behind the battlefield, another crisis brews. The Palestinian Authority falters in the West Bank, raising fears that chaos there could upend Israel's next move. The IDF has delivered a stark assessment that fundamentally alters the trajectory of the nearly two-year conflict in Gaza. Standing before cameras, Israeli military spokesperson Brigadier General Efi Defrin announced that Israeli forces now control 40% of Gaza City, the largest urban center.
Currently, we hold 40% of Gaza City territory. The operation will continue to expand and intensify in the coming days. Hamas will face the full strength of the IDF in Gaza City. We will increase the pressure on Hamas until its defeat. We will continue to pursue them everywhere.
This represents a dramatic escalation in Israel's campaign against Hamas, with Defrin indicating that the offensive will expand significantly in the coming days and a military administration, if no other solution.
We are going towards a decisive action against Hamas in Gaza City. It will take however long it takes, and we aim to achieve this goal. What happens the day after? We also present our professional stance there. Decisions need to be made. The quote that the Chief of Staff supports or desires military administration is incorrect. That's not what he said. He expresses the IDF's professional position that states, when we decisively defeat Hamas in Gaza City and elsewhere, dismantle them, what happens the day after? And the implication is that if there is no other solution, there will be a military administration. That is the outcome.
The Israeli military strategy appears designed to force civilian evacuation through sustained pressure. Reports indicate that the IDF has been firing artillery shells at unpopulated areas near Gaza City, apparently attempting to push the civilian population to flee ahead of the expected operation to capture the remaining portions of the city. However, this approach faces significant resistance from Gaza's population. Despite repeated Israeli calls for civilians to head south and the looming danger of intensified military operations, many Palestinians are refusing to leave.
This time, I am not leaving my house. I want to die here. It doesn't matter if we move out or stay. Tens of thousands of those who left their homes were killed by Israel too, so why bother?
The conflict in Gaza has now spilt over into international diplomacy, creating unprecedented tensions between Israel and France. On September 4th, Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar delivered an ultimatum to France. In a direct phone call with French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot, Saar made it clear that French President Emmanuel Macron would not be welcome in Israel if France proceeds with its planned recognition of a Palestinian state this month. The Israeli Foreign Minister called on France to withdraw its initiative, stating that the French move undermines stability in the Middle East and harms Israel's national and security interests.
Israel seeks good relations with France, but France must respect Israel's position when it comes to matters essential to its security and future.
This diplomatic confrontation stems from Macron's announcement that France would formally recognize a Palestinian state during a United Nations meeting in September. The French president's decision has triggered a domino effect, with Belgium, Canada and Australia joining the push for Palestinian statehood recognition. The Israeli response has been swift and uncompromising. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned of potential retaliation.
But if they take unilateral steps against us, don't be surprised if we take unilateral steps as well. What we will do exactly, I won't reveal here.
The implications of Netanyahu's warning became clearer through comments from US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who revealed that the Trump administration had anticipated and warned about Israeli countermeasures.
Predicted this would happen. We warned everybody it would happen. But nonetheless, some of these people decided they wanted to move forward with something that's illusory. Right now, we should be focused on how do we end this war in Gaza? How do you eliminate Hamas? But as far as what you're seeing with the West Bank and the annexation, that's not a final thing. That's something that's being discussed among some elements of Israeli politics. I'm not going to opine on that today. What I am going to tell you is it was wholly predictable.
Rubio's comments suggest a coordinated American effort to discourage European recognition of Palestinian statehood, with warnings that such moves could provoke Israeli annexation of West Bank territories.
We told all these countries, before they went out and they did this, we told them that if they did this, they went through with this thing, there wasn't going to be a Palestinian state, because that's not the way a Palestinian state is going to happen, because they have a press conference somewhere. And we told them that it would lead to these sort of reciprocal actions, and it would make a ceasefire harder. And by the way, let me tell you something. The day that the French announced their thing, the thing they did, that day, Hamas walked away from the negotiating table.
Behind the public diplomatic disputes, Israeli security officials are raising urgent warnings about the potential collapse of the Palestinian Authority, a development that could fundamentally alter the political landscape of the West Bank and complicate any future peace negotiations. According to Channel 12 news reports, senior Shin Bet security agency officials have warned Israeli political leaders that the Palestinian Authority is showing clear signs of unraveling. These internal security assessments paint a troubling picture of economic strain and institutional decay that could trigger widespread unrest. The Shin Bet officials reportedly told Israeli leaders that
unemployment is rising, security personnel are receiving little or no pay, and core functions are eroding. These factors could trigger chaos and a flare-up.
The security assessment argues that the Palestinian Authority's survival ultimately serves Israel's interests, making its potential collapse a strategic concern for Israeli security. This warning comes as Prime Minister Netanyahu convened what officials described as a situational assessment on the West Bank, though Israeli officials denied that Thursday's meeting specifically addressed annexation plans. However, the timing of this high-level discussion coincides with increasingly vocal calls from far-right ministers for Israeli sovereignty over West Bank territories. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who attended the meeting, has unveiled an ambitious proposal for Israel to annex 82% of the West Bank. This plan would represent a dramatic departure from the current arrangement where the Palestinian Authority governs day-to-day affairs in Palestinian population centers, while Israel maintains overall security control. The financial pressure on the Palestinian Authority has been exacerbated by Israeli actions. Since May, Smotrich has entirely halted tax transfers to Ramallah, withholding approximately 900 million shekels, or $270 million. These transfers, collected by Israel on behalf of the Palestinian Authority, represent a crucial source of revenue for Palestinian government operations.